at Next 24 with Ari and Laura, and they're going to tell us how to get easy and affordable access to GPUs for AI ML workloads. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Before we get into the talk, can you just tell me a little bit about each of yourselves, introduce yourselves, and then a brief synopsis of the session that you gave this morning?
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Ari Liberman. I'm the Group Product Manager for Compute Engine and Google Batch.
I'm Laura Ionita. I am a product manager at Google. I work in compute, and I focus on helping our customers get GPU and TPU resources for their generative AI models.
Wonderful. And what was your talk kind of covering?
We gave a quick talk about how to get access to GPUs in a simple and easy way through Dynamic Workload Scheduler.
Wonderful. So speaking of Dynamic Workload Scheduler, what is it and how does it help us get easy and affordable access to GPUs?
That's a great question. So Dynamic Workload Scheduler is a new tool that's been designed for short duration workloads like training, fine-tuning, ML models that our customers today are very interested in experimenting with. We help our customers get access to GPUs and TPUs to a variety of ways, like on-demand or reservations. But sometimes they just need flexible access to capacity, and that's what Dynamic Workload Scheduler gets them. Dynamic Workload Scheduler comes today with two different modes. One is called Flex Start, and the other one is called Calendar Mode. So Flex Start is really when you have a workload that's ready to go and you just need capacity just in time for that workload. In that specific scenario, you would be submitting a request for capacity. You will express that as a number of GPUs that you're looking for and the duration of the workload, and then the scheduler takes it from there. The scheduler will look for that capacity type, and when the capacity is ready to go, it queues your workload to start. You can think of this mode a little bit like getting on a wait list at a restaurant. You're just in town, you want to get dinner, so you're just going to get on that wait list and we're going to get a table for you. The second mode, it's called Calendar Mode, and that's a little bit more like a hotel reservation. You're going to look at availability for GPUs, and you're going to be able to place a short-term reservation, and then that reservation will actually guarantee your start time for your workload. It's really, really good when you have, let's say, a longer training run for ML, or you are trying to fine-tune an existing model on a regular cadence, and you're just going to place, smaller reservations, or even just running a short-term experiment. You have a new idea, you just need one VM for one day, and you need that capacity to be guaranteed for you. So that's what the tool can do for our customers.
Amazing, and I love the naming of it, actually. It makes a lot of sense, right? Flex is just when you need it right then and there, and calendar is a little bit of planning prior, just like you would with your calendar, right? So in terms of Dynamic Work Scheduler, are there specific workloads where it excels?
For sure. We've created it with a lot of the ML workloads in mind. A lot of the process of creating a new model or experimenting with an existing model requires capacity for short duration of time. Short can mean days, or can mean hours, or can mean even a few weeks. And typically that capacity needs to be provisioned all at once. And typically that capacity needs to run uninterrupted, because a lot of these workloads are pretty sensitive to interruptions. So training ML models, fine-tuning those ML models, batch inference like evaluation or experimentation that's start latency tolerant, for example, those are great workloads that would benefit a lot from this model. Typically, customers would tell us how many GPUs they need, for how long they need them. And with Flex Start, for example, when the workload is done, they can just terminate the VMs and stop paying for those VMs. This is a great model to actually save a lot of money, because you don't have to pay for long-term capacity. You don't have to pay for idle capacity as you're trying to get VMs and trying to get to a specific number that your workload requires. So we've seen, customers telling us that not only that it improved their obtainability, but it also improved their cost for running their ML research.
And in your session, you also talk about compute engine models. So how can a user decide between on-demand, spot, and future reservations for the AI ML workloads?
Yeah, so with AI workloads, it's not so different than when you're, let's say, serving a web application or a mobile application. You start with a baseline consumption, which you can cover with a committed use discount, and that's all backed by a reservation with GPUs. It comes out of a box, so you have to create a reservation to get your committed use discount. On top of that, traditionally on-demand is used to serve, spikes of traffic. However, with AI, these bursts come very quickly and they're very large. So for that use case, we created Dynamic Workload Scheduler. The nice thing about DWS is that you don't have to think of a different pricing point. You pay at the on-demand rate, and only for the amount of time that you're using the capacity. It's ready for you all at once, and then you run your workload, let's say your training run, and when it's done, it's deprovisioned, and you're done. The nice thing also is that when you complement this with Spot, for example, let's say you've trained your model, and now you're ready to deploy it in production to serve your customers. So let's say you have your next, great chatbot that you've put out, and you're ready to put it out in front of your users. So you can use Spot for online inference. And Spot is a great way to save money when you're trying to reach a lot of your users, so you can get to them with their requests as they're happening in real time. And Spot is one of the favorite ways that we're seeing startups and AI companies complement with all of the different consumption models that we talked about.
Nice. Back to the pattern here of flexibility, right? Giving people what they need when they need it for their needs. Could you maybe describe a scenario where combining these different types would be best suited?
Yeah, so think of, as you're getting started, typically you would use a model like on-demand. You don't know exactly how much you're going to be using, and you're giving access to your research teams. So you would use on-demand, but at this time, there's unprecedented demand for GPUs. So we're having a really hard time, if you're a researcher or a developer, to getting continuous access to your capacity. So for that reason, DWS Flex Start can help you get going. So let's say you start running a few training runs or experimentation runs, then you start to notice a pattern. That pattern, then you need to cover with your reservation or your commitment. And then on top of that, you can also, let's say, if you have a planned event, like a product launch, or there's a conference coming up, and there's a lot of demand for capacity, you can plan in ahead of time, submit a calendar mode request, and you can have capacity for, let's say, up to 2 weeks, leading up to the next, Google Cloud Next conference, so you're ready to show the latest model to your users. And then finally, as I said earlier, you can then deploy via on-demand, or you can use Spot as a way to get additional cost savings.
Sure.
So all of these models work great together. And to make this even easier, we have a fantastic integration within the cost experience dashboard or the FinOps Hub in the billing section of the console, where you can see how these models are all combined together to give you, efficiency, to give you different options and flexibility.
Nice. I love that. Planning for a spike that is coming, so you have a little peace of mind there. So in terms of all of the, GWS and compute engine consumption models, can you give us any real world examples and maybe any tips or tricks that are being used?
Yes, that sounds good. So one of our customers, who's called Two Sigma, it's a hedge fund in New York, and they use a lot of AI ML for trading purposes. They came to us a couple of months back and they said, we have quota for all these GPUs, but we're not able to get them on demand. We've been trying, and maybe 20% of our requests actually are successful in the time that we need those GPUs. And they actually implemented an integration between their own internal scheduler for their scientists with DWS-enabled APIs in GKE. And that was a really quick implementation. It took them maybe less than 2 weeks from start to end. And they were able to get access to hundreds of GPUs for their researchers. And now they're running so many jobs, and they've measured their obtainability, and now it's above 80% of all the requests that are being submitted. So think about it, it's almost 4x compared to what it was before. And a lot of this comes from the fact that the DWS not only is able to serve capacity in a new and smarter way than we do it in a traditional on-demand environment, but also it accesses different supply pools. We work with some of the on-demand pools. We have dedicated capacity for DWS, and then we also access limited duration capacity that gives us really unparalleled obtainability when it comes to DWS. So Two Sigma has been really happy. They've been moving much faster through research cycles. They're getting results much faster. They don't have to worry about getting that capacity for their researchers. And then they're also using, spot VMs, for example, for inference once the models are ready and they're rolled into production.
Wow, that's really striking numbers, right? 2 weeks to get access to hundreds of GPUs. Right. That's amazing, incredible. Okay, so a little bit of a curveball here. In 60 seconds or less, can you tell me, if developers want to start working with this kind of seamlessly integrated into their day-to-day, what can they do?
So my favorite place where you can get access to DWS and you don't even have to think about it is by using the Vertex training product through the console. Let's say you pick your container and you deploy it to train. It's going to essentially run for you, get the capacity. You can see the full status from training to the provisioning, and you're only paying for the amount of time that you're using the capacity, and that's it. It's really simple. We've already done all the work to integrate it for you, so you can get started quickly.
Wonderful. Okay, so make sure to check out the full talk. We'll put the link in the description among other links that are helpful. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and enjoy the rest of your next.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Debbie.